Ready? Okay. We'll reconvene from executive session at 8:36 p.m. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read a proposed motion?
Yes. Proposed motion discussed in executive session would be to ratify the promotion of Officer Gamble to full-time from reserve.
I'll
Someone make
accept that motion.
Do we have a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned at 8:36 p.m. Now I'll call to order the special called budget workshop number 2 of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Von Ormy. Madam City Clerk, would you please call a quorum?
Commissioner Sebastian Martinez.
Here.
Commissioner Remy Guzman. Here. Mayor Art Martinez-Guevara.
Here. All present. We have a quorum. We may proceed. If there's no objection, we'll dispense with the invocation and pledge
Yes.
of allegiance,
No
since we've already
objection.
done that. We'll move on to agenda item number 4, citizens to be heard. We have none. So we'll move on to agenda item number 5, which is the budget workshop number 2. Our city administrator is going to present the proposed budget. I kind of wanted to make a few highlights, if I may, just to let you know. I know we worked really hard on it. Several things compared to our last year's budget. One was we had to really address revenue assumptions that ended up being, pretty far off. One was impound yard, others being municipal court revenues, and so that was something we had to address. And so the new ones that they're based upon prior year, actual returns versus projections. 2, as you saw, we got one grant for road repair. We been speaking with the county commissioner about our CDBG. She was going to support it with the county. So this, at a minimum, hopefully we'll get the 270. If we can get the other 250, that's roughly 500,000 in road repairs. We haven't done road repairs since I was mayor last, so it's been like 10 years. So it's certainly needed. We've also worked in additional funding for things like potholes and things that we need to carry over for the next year or two until we get funding for the roads that aren't going to be addressed with these large grants. So I think that's a huge improvement. We've reduced our administrative overhead significantly. That was one of the things we really had discussed. How many dollars is it costing us to deliver $1 of direct service to the community? I think we've seen some significant improvement on that. Mike already left, but we also transfer animal control from the police department over to Public Works, have funding for that, for an individual to come and add, but we don't necessarily need a licensed police officer to be in that role, which makes it more cost effective. We talked about renewing the towing contract because, again, the estimated revenues didn't materialize. We're also looking at things such as, when posting with the police chief, to be salaried positions to eliminate overtime. Overtime is a pretty big, significant budget overrun, so we need to be mindful of that. And I think we can do that with more careful staffing planning. We have a graffiti removal fund. We're also looking at paying off our debt earlier. I'm hoping to be debt-free again by next year. We will have a surplus this year. We're not in the hole. We're going to end up with a surplus. So I would like to apply those funds to make an additional payment at the end of the year, which will just leave one more payment, and then we'll be debt-free. and we'll, as we go through it, you can see we can achieve all of that and have a 0% tax rate. So let's go through it and see how it comes out.
All right, Commissioners Council, we put this together with a lot of thought. discretionary stuff that I have to have in the budget. Of course, there is nothing in these yet because we have not voted on them. So, but I do want to show you the trend in here of our tax, our new revenues, our M&O rates, and where our debt is. I did misspeak to the mayor when we were talking last week. Mayor, we only have 55,000 in debt, not 150.
Okay.
I mean, not 100.
Okay, so we could be debt-free this year.
No. I have a payment in September of 52,000, and the next one is due in next September.
I got you.
at 55.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did misspeak on that.
Okay.
I did want to tell you, and I did put a thing at the
Yeah.
bottom, at the back sheet for you,
Okay.
when I pulled it from that. So, but when I say that, that is only our debt to the bank on what we call the tax obligation, of what she's talking about,
Yes.
talking about the parks.
Right.
Our proposed, overall, and the mayor and I were able to balance the budget. I'm having trouble here. With revenues coming in at 1.7 million, expenses going out at 1.7 million. We did a lot of thought and effort into that to make that happen, and I'll kind of go through. He kind of already said what we did, but we'll kind of note it as we go through. All right, that he was talking about the employee breakdown, and this was a big modifier in the budget this year. Where as you look at the top part of it, you're going to see what we were before at 627,000. That takes in your salaries, your FICA matching, your retirement matching. When I say FICA, I'm talking about your federal and everything that we, not federal, but all your, it's federal taxes that we do have to pay in. So with the reductions and stuff that we did do, we have brought it down to 467,000, which gave us a change of 159,000. And that was what he spoke about a second ago. In revenues, based upon averages and also some changes that we had that we had talked about, and I did leave the contract coding in there because Mr. Chacon and I are still going back and forth about maybe changing some stuff and re-evaluating that situation that we used to have. So that is still that's why I did not take that out yet. But it's kind of still up in the open. I did not put anything there. There could potentially be something there. I didn't get directed to go that until today. So that may change still. Everything else pretty much is in line of what we did before. I did reduce the building permits a little bit compared to what was on there last year. I think it was a little exaggerated. The mayor and I both agreed. And the rest of it, we kind of kept what you're seeing right there, where it comes out. It's a little bit lower than last year, but I think it's very doable. Any questions, commissioners? No?
Our alcohol, so that's just the One Army Cafe or the, I always call it the One Army Cafe, the Route 35 Cafe.
Yeah.
But there are only alcohol permit, right?
Sir, I only got $35 this month.
Really?
That's all I booked this month.
Okay.
So that's why I took it down so low.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's based upon alcohol sales, but.
That's fine.
So it was hard. I
Right.
just did an average.
Okay.
I did leave $10,000 in ad valorem because you always have back taxes that are not paid. That is more of the capture of what wouldn't be paid before. So I know Art said that we are trying to get down to 0. But when you do see that, that is taking consideration of stuff that could trickle in next year because we are only at about 86% collected
Yeah. From prior years, or assessed prior years.
altogether. Yes, sir. So general fund, when I said the general fund, that's pretty much administrative. It captures everything. I broke it down into departments. So before in the budget, we all had everything wrapped into the general fund. It was really hard for me, the auditors, that was one of the recommendations, was to break it out into departmentalized, which you should anyway when you're dealing with what we call GASB finances. So what you see here is pretty much an overview of everything it takes to run the city within City Hall. So if you look at each one of those, and I have given you all that on your sheet as well, you can see kind of where we're at. I didn't reduce a ton of stuff in here.
Mainly, yeah.
What are you thinking?
Uh,
I'm trying to think of what you and I changed in here. There wasn't a bunch we changed in here. I brought the bookkeeper down since I'm doing both of it.
Right.
But I put that as bookkeeper and contract labor, a mix, in case we have to bring somebody else in. But otherwise, I don't really see, do y'all have any questions on that whatsoever?
No.
I'm trying to move it up, and it's not here. Sammy, do you see anything?
No.
Anything at all? Raymond, anything?
What is this contract labor?
Well, in case I have to have anybody in there to give me a hand. So a lot of times the filing and there's certain stuff that I'll get behind on sometimes when I'm like covered in grants or stuff like that. So sometimes I need a little extra hand in there. So we're just putting a cushion in case I get behind.
But we don't have anybody.
No.
Contract labor.
I mean, this is for the upcoming budget, it's not the current budget, so.
Yeah.
But no, we don't have anything planned for that. If I don't have anybody, it's just we have a contract person that comes in as needed. So, that's about that. So that came out to about $479,000 out of the budget, which is a huge reduction from last year. Police department, salary and wages, of course, they're always your biggest thing in every department. Insurance, the insurance is the highest for workers' comp in that division. And that, when I say insurance, remember, that's only your insurance liability. It has nothing to do with health insurance on that $41,000. So by reducing a lot of our reserves, we were able to bring that down a lot. I do not have prior numbers in there because it was all lumped into one, but I do have a sheet over there in my stack that I can show you exactly the breakdown if you would like to see it from last year. I think I told, what did I tell you, 56,000 last year? Is where I broke you on it last year?
Yeah, one of the things, Jake, we need to look at is the vehicle leases. I mean, that's, we're contractually obligated, but once those run out, but if there's any way for us to,
We have 2 years left on it.
yeah,
We have 2 years left.
get out of that, we should explore it. But if not, again, in 2 years, then we can,
We have 2 years.
yeah, get into a better, okay, that's significant.
2028 is the last payment,
Yeah.
December of 2028.
December. Almost 29 years.
So that's kind of where we're at with that, though we didn't really change a ton in there. A lot of stuff isn't going to change. If y'all have any questions about that, y'all can ask. I don't want to go line item to line item because we'll be here all night if I do that. Salary ranges for the court department. I have one court clerk that also is the city secretary. She multitasks. So when I say court clerk, that is also her salary and wages. She is actually doing 2 different sets of positions for me as well. Postage, we have a lot of postage that has to go out. I know that looks high, but she has to do a lot of warrants and stuff, and we have to do a lot of certified mail. Insurance, that again, that's your workers' comp, that goes all the way down. The highest you're going to have in there is going to be your state cost fines. I know everybody thinks that cities make a ton of money on fines, but I can tell you 75% of that goes back to state cost fine fees to the state, and we actually take home very, very little of that. Animal control. Now, the mayor and I decided to go ahead and make this a department, because we do want to get a animal kennel tech in there. We're not really looking to get an animal control person. So we're looking for a kennel tech that can come in as needed, off and on, even people come and donate their time, and that's kind of what we're looking at for that part of it. We allocated $10,000 to that position as a part-time, for somebody to come in. I can't see it taking over 1 or 2 hours. If that's up to you, that's whoever that runs that department.
The gentleman who does it now, that's like his only thing that he does.
No, that's your department, so you would run it as you would see. But yeah, we're just allocating money towards what you can do to make that run.
Yeah, or to supplement it to make it better. But we need to finalize how we're going to post that and who we're going to assign that to. Yeah.
Or Public Works, right?
Mhm.
However you want to do it.
But yeah, I'll move to Public Works.
So I have a Public Works also. Okay, Public Works is only Jacob now. Jacob does a lot of everything. He's also my IT and is also half-time court clerk as well. But that is everything that falls under him. Also the fuel for the trucks, the material supplies for outside. That could be tools, that could be anything like that. He has a certain amount of training that he has to do. And of course, I did put the street repairs. I did not put it under CIP. I just kept everything right here because I was waiting for feedback from the commissioners on the CIP accounts. CIP budget.
Right. And then we have added the 50,000, that's for potholes and edging and road preservation for the ones that don't get the big rebuild or the big repair. Yeah.
And we're hoping to get some billings and stuff if we can. I'm just hoping that we can talk to the railroads and all that and see if we can get some donations in. Parks and events, we still got for park improvements, we put 10,000 in there. I know at one time, Mr. Raymond here wanted to look about putting grass and stuff out there. There's always stuff that Jacob is fixing over at the parks, and we did allocate 15,000 for events to cover the Jalapeno Fest and other events that we have throughout the year. So, as per the budget, I know this isn't as a fancy one as I normally try to do. I'm trying to make it very, very simple so people understand it. But this is the CIP that I was talking about. These are different areas, I think, within the city that we would have to allocate money. I need to get with the mayor and the commissioners because we do need to talk about that, but we also have to talk about where the money's coming from. I am going to add this into our budget profile, but I cannot say that anything will be added to that for this year.
But some of these, just for example, if we do get the CDBG,
I can
but it's a wash because it's income and then it's an expense. So
Right,
it doesn't really
right,
change the
yeah,
underlying.
but we can move it.
Right.
We wanna
And same with the sewer funding. If we do get the state water board, it's,
try.
yeah. But yeah.
And then I am supposed to, by law, give you your debt ratios and your debts. Your long-term debt on your tax note is going to be 55,000, and we have one more payment due on 9/30 for around that amount, then we have one more, and then we're done with that note. The vehicle loans, we owe 158,000 on. The last payoff is 12/15/2028.
You said under the adjustment, we had discussed using the current year surplus to make an additional payment.
Yes, we can make both payments and pay them off if you wanted to. If you and the commissioners wanted to,
Yeah.
that is completely up to you.
Okay.
At the current time, I'm sitting on 478,300 and something thousand in the general fund.
Do we have a projected, even a ballpark surplus by the end of the year, like as far as what was budgeted?
Because of the big changes that we're seeing with the income and the collection of tickets from Weinberger and all, I can't give you an average estimate yet, but I think it's going to be better than what we thought. And if I could get a final idea of what the state is doing with that one situation on the sales
Yeah.
tax, that would help me a lot.
Okay.
Do I think we could pay it off? Absolutely. Do I
Yeah.
think it would hurt us? No, I don't think so.
Right.
Like an auditor would tell you, the money's there to spend it for a reason.
Right.
And it would get rid of an early payoff as well as your P&I on that.
Right.
I mean, not P&I, your interest on that.
Right. And if we get the our sales tax blip, those would just be extra funds that maybe we could add towards our
It would-
long-term
it would-
savings.
It would go into surplus and
Towards-
long-term savings. My goal on that would be eventually even if we could just put $100,000 into a high yield
Yeah.
municipal.
Right.
I can't think of, not star bond. What do they
T-bill.
call it? Huh?
T-bill?
T-bill, yeah.
To do, they're running at 8% right now, and that right there would be wonderful for the city to make a little money on their money.
Correct. We talked about a long time ago reestablishing our $1 million reserve, which we used to have. I think now we're down to 4 or something.
470,
Yeah.
473, 400, right at half.
Right. But we could, if we could do 100 a year, we could potentially get that in 5 years, and then. But our budgets now are much higher than they were, so over time it needs to be a little bit more. But, okay.
And that's all I have. Does
Alright.
anybody have any questions on the budget that we can answer?
And this is a workshop, we're not voting on anything today, we're just
This is
presenting.
workshop,
Okay.
this is
Not
voting. Y'all
tonight.
just tell me any changes you want to see on this one. I will, then we will come back, we will do a regular, or a budget final one, and then we will have a regular session where we will adopt it.
Okay,
The only legal thing I just have to bring up is as part of the tax note series for the blue building, we are required to have the tax rate, ad valorem tax rate to cover that payment.
Not if we pay it off.
And when
That's
we
why
pay
we're paying it off. So,
Pay it off before the end of the year,
Yes.
that would be gone.
okay, fantastic.
So that's.
Thank
what
you.
we qualify.
Any questions from the gallery? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
make a motion we adjourn, Mayor.
We have a second? All in favor, say aye. We are adjourned at 8:56 PM.
Well, that didn't take long. That didn't take long. I like that. Instead of having all those papers. Was that your idea? I thought so. Because I saw Jacob when he was putting it up. He said,
Honestly, I think we need to get nicer dials.
yeah,
I think we need to go to the government surplus, and they got some wood, like stuff from the Capitol that's nicer.
Yeah.
They're old, but they're nice. It's not, solid wood.